Greetings again. This is Dr. Bill Wyatt with the American Orthodontic Society, and I want to talk some this afternoon about moving teeth without actually touching the tooth itself. And this is done by working with the follicles that are around teeth as they develop. There's a little bag around the tooth, and it's filled with fluid, and the tooth comes out. Once it breaks the surface out here, the hole comes in that, and this sac is made out of epithelial tissue, and it goes down and forms a ring around the tooth at the neck and becomes kind of the part of the gum tissue at that point. But in many of these cases, really need to have some teeth extracted. If they're so terribly crowded that they just can't possibly put them in there without bulging the face out or getting it out of place. Now this is caused by maybe you pick the wrong parents or something like that, or maybe one of the parents has a large tooth, a large facial structure, and the other is a dainty structure, and you put this together, and the child frequently, it must be a lot, because in the United States or a mixed up society, you're going to have people with parents with different sized teeth, and so you have to make the teeth fit the person's bone structure that they've got there. Now that's my opinion on extracted or not extracted. I think it's ridiculous not to take out some teeth sometimes, and I don't do it very often, but I have to take teeth out, and that's my opinion. Now, Plato said that opinion is between knowledge and just ignorance up here. And there may be a lot of smart people that are ignorant on the size of the teeth that think they ought to keep them all like that, but that's not the way it is. So let's get in with this case right here, and I'm going to show you this little girl. I'm going to have to touch this again here. Now, starting out, you look at this profile, and it's good. I mean, the little girl has a nice profile, a nice shaped face and everything like that. But let's go on and look at it now. Since she begins to smile, you'll see there's something wrong with the teeth. And so the teeth are crowded up, and there's this holy mess in here. I'll show that to you through the x-rays. I've got about 9 Panorex x-rays on this young lady, and we'll follow those through after I go through and just look at the mouth now for this. So here we go. It's no difference much here. This crowded, and there the deciduous cuspids are right up here against the upper centrals, and there's a deciduous cuspid. It looks like it's about ready to come out right here. The two other I take that back. Here's the cuspid, and here's the second, third deciduous molars back here. This is the cuspid tooth, and there's the cuspid tooth. So this is a upper lateral about ready to go right there. Let's jump on in further. Now on the lower part of the arch, and you have the laterals erupting down here inside, and they came up. They didn't have room enough. Now, I think we went ahead and sliced those teeth off like this and did the pulpotomy to get the laterals to come out into this space right here, and kept that, but that still wasn't enough. We're going to watch this young lady till she gets quite a bit older. Just takes about 5 years, I think, maybe a little longer than that. We watch. She has a good facial profile here, and then I want you to look at her when we finish. I want to just save this. Now this is We started this, I think, in 98. I believe it was somewhere around 98, and we've got some 030 slides on it too after we finish. All right, so here she is in 99. The teeth are coming along, they're still crowded, and we shaped those teeth off and got room for the laterals to come in. You have to rotate them a little bit later on, but then we've got to put the cuspid and the tube eyes in this area right here, and there's just not enough room. You'll see when we get to the x-rays. Now you can put anybody's teeth in their mouth if you want to, but that doesn't keep you from having them bulge out like that. Now if people come from a group that has facial structure that's protruding like this, and if they're in there, they may want it or may not want it. I ask them if this, and I look to the parents and talk to them and say, do you want this profile out here, or you want it back further, make more Caucasian type facial structure? And frequently I say, well, I want to have it look better. And so we try to satisfy the parents and everybody before we start, and the person we're working on like that. Now, here we go. This is a little older, and the profile's still good. You look at it from the front, it looks good. We've not taken anything out so far, and the profile looks pretty good, but we've got a crowded place now. This cuspid's coming in up over the top of the lateral. This one right here will do the same thing. When you look at the x-rays, you'll kind of understand what we're talking about now. She's losing some deciduous teeth. This is just a hull. The body absorbs the dental structure, but it will not touch the enamel structure. And so the baby teeth that come out, some of them will just be a hollow shell of enamel. And it looks like one coming in over on this side also. A lot of this stuff, I don't know who I'm talking to, really. I hope people that know a lot about orthodontics, and you'll be bored to death sometimes, and somebody that we're working with that doesn't, is just getting started in it, wherever you are in the world. So we have to kind of put a lot of stuff in here sometimes that people who know a lot of orthodontics don't need to know it. Now that's a baby tooth right there, but it'll just be a hull of enamel, actually, but it can retard the eruption of a permanent tooth, provided one root is held on. Now here the cuspid is coming in like we thought it would, and over here we've got to get a cuspid in this area right here, and if we've extracted or taken teeth out, we're going to have some room, but we'll show that to you. Now there's a bicuspid coming up underneath that, and let's go on. This is later on now. She's got a good facial profile still at this point, and we put off the extractions till as far as we could. But this is a nice facial profile. That's what we want to keep right here. Now some people may want them out more like that. It just depends on how they want them. If people want the facial fullness in there, or maybe too full, then we can put all the teeth in there. It's not a big problem to put everybody's teeth in their mouth, but they would be protrusive if we did. Now, this is a good facial profile here, and this is not, okay. This is jumped up now to 03. This is about when we are finishing the case up, but I don't have the stuff without any braces on at all, but we've finished it up. Now she's had the extractions here, and you can see what size the facial structure, how it looks. And this is 5/6 of '03. And the teeth have all lined up, and we've got them in there, and there's a missing tooth here, and also one down on the bottom. And we sent her back to her dentist, and he finally took the teeth out, and then we started it a little late. We'll show you. And this is 5/6 of '03, and the bottom teeth are lined up like this. She did not have a wisdom tooth on the lower right side, if I remember correctly, but she had the other three, and she may lose those wisdom teeth. I'm not sure. We follow her till she's just about 13 or 14, and young ladies are not going to grow much past that. Now, this was '03 is when we finished, and I have September 31st, '89. I must have seen her then. That's a pretty bad slide there, but that's the only thing to give you some idea about how long it took. All right, this is the Panorex number 9. I think we'll show it again here. And we've got all the teeth in there, and everything's going. It's in the wisdom teeth up here, and there's something over here, but there's nothing that I can determine as a wisdom tooth on that side. But anyway, the jaw is on this young lady is at this point is 13 years and 8 months. So as being a young lady, she's not going to grow much past 13 or 13 and a half. And this is past that, so there won't be room for this wisdom tooth to come in here to do it in right. Now, if she lost a tooth in here, we can slide this one up, and then we bring that in and put it behind it. Over here, we couldn't detect whether we had one or not. Now, this is the seventh. Okay, we're starting over again here now. This is the first Panorex we've got on here, and we decided to do the reduction of these deciduous teeth, the pulpotomy. We got those laterals into place by doing that, but that still didn't increase the size of the arches. You see those 3 teeth trying to get in that space, and down here on this area you can see these 3 teeth here. After this lateral gets up here, they've got from here to here to bring these 4 teeth, and they would be extremely crowded. And so we're going to add on, and so we recommended we didn't recommend at that point, but here is slide number 2, or Panorex number 2, and here we figured we have to do something in here to get these teeth in place. Now, this is where this follicular movement, I want this tooth to turn in here. And what we can do, if we send her in and get this tooth extracted, then this little ring you see around that tooth, I'm going to erase that so you can see the follicle is way on out of this tooth. And the follicle is like a bag, or if you had a balloon full of water with your fist in it, and you were in a pool, you could push your fist up against the side of the pool, and it would flatten one side of it out, right like that. You take your pressure away, and the bag around the tooth, or this follicle that the tooth forms in, or we call them a follicular cyst if they stay there too long, then that would shove the tooth out away from the side of your fist, away from the side of the pool. All right, if we want this tooth right here to come over, in other words, we want to bring this cuspid right here down into this area right there. So we come in and take out this tooth right here. I didn't do it. I sent them to their dentist to do, then this follicle will again round out, and it'll push that tooth over in that direction. Same thing over here. The follicle is out here, and you take the tooth that's pressing against the follicle over here, and this follicle will push from this side and bring this tooth over in this direction. Same thing down here on the bottom. You see how this tooth is going into the lateral? It will move over. The same thing here when you get the tooth out. So we took these teeth out or sent them and get them taken out like that. Now this was, she's age 9, and this is the second Panorex, which we recommended the extraction, but they didn't want to do this. So we go here for another till she's age 9 and 4 months, and we haven't done anything extraction-wise up at this point. And this follicle is right up around the edge of that tooth. It's pushing this tooth over. I want this tooth to come here, and this one to come here and come in. These down here on the bottom, I want them to come out in this direction, right here. So we're going to eliminate the pressure that pushes against the follicle, and this follicle will move that tooth over there, and I won't have to touch the tooth at all to get it to do that. Now, this is the third Panorex. Excuse me. Now, here we go, and this is another Panorex. She still hasn't removed the teeth, and it's getting in a pretty bad shape. These teeth are going to try to get up into there anyway, and the cuspid, one of them was coming out on the top. In the earlier pictures you could see it. So she's 9 and 7 months right here, and this is 5/11 of 99. And now we're going to send her back and say, we need to get teeth out or you're going to have a real problem here. And so she did, or the parents took their child in. Now look where this tooth right here was up against that. This was up against this. This tooth was up behind. I'm going to drop back and look where those teeth were. See where that cuspid was kind of into that lateral root here, or out in front of it. This was almost touching it. This was almost touching this. But then look at the difference. And this is 5/11 of 99. And we go to, it's age 10. This is 12 of 99. So in other words, from 5 to 12, the 19th of December apparently, then these teeth had moved that far. In other words, they came out and separated down here. And now we're going to watch it again in the sixth Panorex. The teeth are over and the teeth are side down. This tooth was headed this way, and this one was headed over here, and they were going down into place. This tooth was right against this. Now we have rigged this up so that it would move itself. It's just working with the follicle around the tooth and seeing what it can do. If you eliminate something on one side of the tooth, this follicle will try to go back to a round shape. That's where most fluid can be in something if it's in a round shape. That's why the Earth's round. There's anything out there that's melted in space, it assumes a round position. Now, here the follicle brought these teeth back and is bringing this up. And let's watch again. We haven't touched this case now and done anything other than we slice to let the laterals get in. And she's 12 and 2, and this is November, I believe. All right, here she is, 12 and 2, and this is 01, and the teeth, somebody put some little stainless steel crowns on them, which they didn't really need to do that, but I guess she's going to a pediatric dentist that likes to stick these little stainless steel crowns on teeth. Excuse me. But anyway, they're on there. Now here we are. She's age 13 and 3, and this is 12 of 02, and there the teeth are in this position. Now I'm going to go, and we've got a wisdom tooth here, and my voice. My voice is going away. Okay. Here we are. It's 13 and 8, and this is 03, and the teeth are all in there. And here's just some teeth. And you see where we started from, and if you go back and look at this young lady's teeth back here, after we got through with her, her profile is almost the same. And so I say that extracting teeth in situations where one parent had a huge tooth and the other one had smaller structure, then you're going to have this problem. And if the child takes the gene for the big teeth, they put it with the other small tooth structure, you can tell the teeth come from the facial ectoderm layer, and you can tell different people with different color, and you can tell that. So I thank you for watching. I'm going to close up now. I'll be back again. I hope you'll be able to show this, and I want you to have your opinion is that some people really need extractions, and it is not a situation of never taking out teeth in this country where we are mixed up in the same way all over the world where people are mixed together now. Be more and more of it. So I'm going to hush and go back and close this out. And thank you for watching. I hope you'll join our group and subscribe to it. And I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll